check. What is going on? What is going on? I'm waiting to hear if there is an echo on this new monitor. And it doesn't appear that there is. I'm seeing audio. I think we're good. Very, very bizarre. But this is a TV panel. I had to get a new screen. You guys know this. Still waiting on my chair. I did order my chair, but I'm waiting on my chair. But ordered a new screen. And it looks good. It's not as big as my previous screen. I'm still considering swapping out my desk monitor for this monitor for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't even realize that when I bought it. It's a smart TV, so it has all the internet capabilities in it. So I might as well keep it at my desk so I can watch my Lakers lose over and over again. Anyway, hope everybody's having a great day. It is Cleveland Terry Show, aka DJ Tech Thursday. This one will be I don't want to say relatively fast one. I always say it's going to be fast, but today I actually mean it. My life is evolving in a negative way. First off, my kid has a dance competition this weekend. Neither here nor there, but I'm going to be in San Francisco doing we actually have 2 bar mitzvahs in San Francisco this Saturday. 2 in San Francisco, 1 in Arizona, and then 6 more, 1 in Orange County, and then 5 more in LA. So I'm packing up to head out for the LED wall on Friday. So I'm going to miss my kids' stuff. Now, originally, I was just going to load up the equipment on Friday. The crew was going to grab everything Friday night, the roadies for the LED wall and all the equipment. And they were going to drive out. Normally we go at about noon, but in this case, my roadies couldn't even be available until it was like 5 o'clock. So they're going to go take the truck and head out there at 5. Anyway, we're going to load it up. Loading it up for my peace of mind. It has nothing to do with them. It's really just about me. So we loaded it up, and here's the thing. One of my main guys, my office manager, is unavailable on the most important day. You know, sometimes when you think, is this like the Truman Show? Are things just happening in my life that want to try and hold me back? Is this life just revolving around me and you guys are just NPCs? I'm not calling you a non-player character. You are all valuable in some way or another. But it's clear. It is obvious that I'm the main character. No, this is too much stuff. Too much stuff that happens. My wife broke a tooth. She had to go get a crown. My guy is unavailable. Yesterday, I had a whole plan. Family took over. I'm telling you, whoever is writing my story, I'm getting top ratings. Now, every time they try to break me, I just keep going. Just be happy you woke up today. We've had this story, Ernesto. If I didn't wake up today, it would not matter. I wouldn't care because I'd be dead. You get it? And if you do die and there is an afterlife, well, now you're in the afterlife. You know what I'm saying? Oh, with the amount of stuff that happens to people on an everyday basis, sometimes I would think a lot of people are just like, if I did die, eh, would it be so bad if I died tomorrow? I'm absolutely fine. I just don't bullshit. That's the difference. I'm not a guy that cares about. I enjoy my life. I enjoy, everything that I've done and created and all that stuff. But the reality is, people die all the time. People die all the time. And I could just be one of those at some point. That's just the reality. I am fully aware of that. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of times we as human beings, depending on where we live and who we are and, where we exist, we don't think that things happen. You get what I'm saying? We don't think that anything bad can happen to us, but you can go literally just to, over an ocean. And there are people that are like, I might die today every day. Like I was watching this one reel, and I think it was the Russian war and in Ukraine. Dude was at the gym and a bomb went off like 4 doors down from him. And he didn't even like jump. He just kind of looked in the window, then kind of got behind something, another hard piece, stayed away from the windows after that. He probably went back to his bench work. You see what I'm saying? Like, for some people, it's just an everyday thing. They could die today, and they just live their life as if today is their last day, which is something to be commended on, in all honesty. If you can live like that, where you just, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Lou says, you got 2 things to worry about, whether you are healthy or whether you are sick. I saw that guy too. Yeah, there's a guy on Instagram. It's been going viral, and that's his whole thing. He's like, you got 2 things that you have to, only 2 things in life that you have to worry about. Only 2 things. And what I think it was like, yeah, he's like, either you're sick, or you were healthy. And then if you're healthy, you're worried about getting sick. And it's a whole thing. I got to pull it up again. I don't remember it. It's too early for me to remember. All right, let's take a look here. Now, it is Tech Thursday. So, Cleveland Terry Show, we are going to be answering as many questions as we can. And then we're going to try to get out of here. I got to head to a venue to do a site check. And obviously now I have to do it because my guy is unavailable tomorrow. So the day that was going to go shorter is going to absolutely go longer this time. I'm trying to get the comment section to get a little bigger here so it's easier to read. Okay. Let me go on Do Not Disturb because this is a recipe. This is a recipe that I don't want to deal with today. It's going to mess up my focus, and I'm not going to be able to talk to you guys. Okay. So Mixmaster G says, for all my fellow nerds, the Thunderbolt movie is great. Okay. So obviously, Marvel has been having some trouble lately with their films and TV shows. I'm a huge Marvel fan, and but I always give them the benefit of the doubt. I saw Captain America, the black version. You guys know what I'm saying, and it was fine. I didn't ask anybody to go with me. I'm like, I'm just gonna go alone. I went to like a Thursday, I don't know, 10 o'clock show, 10 p.m. show, and I watched it there, and it was fine. I could totally see where there's a moment in that movie you can, as you watch it, where you're like, oh, this is where you guys said, oh shit, we got to change this up because we're telling whole new stories now. You can absolutely tell that there's like 3 movies in this movie, but it was fine. Okay. It was fine. It wasn't great. It wasn't horrible. It was fine. And then the Thunderbolts people have been talking about for months. Like, it's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. People are like, no, that's just Marvel. The Marvel, ad force going crazy, putting it in. But I will say this. And I've been seeing some of the reviews. The people that want to talk crap, there's always people that just don't like Marvel. Too woke, too this, too that. And even they're having trouble like explaining how they hate it. If that makes any sense. So I knew right then and there, I'm like, it's probably good. I have a feeling that's going to be good. I have a feeling that Fantastic Four, I have a feeling that's going to be good. I think that there's finally been a course correction. And we're never going to be Infinity War good. Okay. That's 10 years of just like amazing stories. So we're never going to be there, but we can still make good films. That's the key. That's the key. This is in-game good. I don't know, man. That's a bold statement. That is a bold statement, but hey, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm going to go watch it. I don't know. My family goes to the convention because I can't go. So they're going tonight. I am either going to I'm probably going to see Sinners first. I'm going to go see Sinners today, and I'll find a time over the weekend to go see Thunderbolts. But Sinners first, because they'll just take that movie out of theaters and never tell you. So, yeah. So there we go. And Andor is Empire good. I'm behind because I've been watching The Last of Us. What else have I been watching? I just finished From, which is a great story. So yeah, I only have so much time. Anyway, hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I'm liking what Mixmaster. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Okay. I'm a big movie guy. Like, I will watch a movie over a TV show any day of the week. Okay. Big movie guy. This will be the first movie that I watch that I can judge what you're saying. Now, you've seen three movies, one show and 2 movies that I haven't seen. This is going to be the judge of how good you are at reviewing movies. Because I have some friends that are like, oh yeah, that was good. And then I swear to God, I went and I'm like, that was trash. Like, it wasn't horrible, but you made it seem like I was going to enjoy myself. I did not enjoy myself. And my wife is like that. If there's anything that's cute in the movie, oh, it was good. No, it wasn't. Okay. Jeff 1, I will absolutely watch it. I will absolutely. Yeah. I think it's going to be today. It's going to be tonight. Okay. So, I didn't post the calendar invite, the YouTube invite for the show, which is why I know for a fact the numbers are lower today, and because it takes a minute for everybody to realize, oh, he's on the show. So it starts to build after time. Neither here nor there. We are going to be operating at a very focused and limited time. It's May 1st. Cue the Justin Timberlake. See, thought there was no show today. Exactly. There's no reason why I didn't set up the time. There's no reason. I've just been working and just been busy and been doing everything else. And May is so bad that I'm seriously concerned with my main guy going down right here. Okay. So you when you bring people on, Lou probably understands this. Anybody that does real multi-op stuff, not like, oh, I do a couple here and there, but like real multi-op stuff. There is a moment in time where it gets really, really busy. Now, this May is, I think, the busiest we've ever been. ever been. And my guy goes down, and I knew it was coming. You know, when you bring somebody into something who's never used to like just how much work. It's kind of like having a baby, right? Maybe you have twins, and then you're like, hey, can somebody watch this children for me? And then they come to your house and they're just like running around and they're exhausted by the time you come home, and they're like, oh my God, I don't know how you do this. And then you say, because I just do. You get what I'm saying? You just get used to it. You know, like one child, anybody can get used to, but that second one, it gets harder. Third one, it multiplies. So you deal with the stress because you're used to that stress. I'm used to every year having a horribly busy May. I'm used to that. Some people that have just come on are not used to that, and it's taking a toll. Meanwhile, I'm just like, well, still has to get done. We still have stuff to do. You know, if I'm doing it by myself on Friday, that's what's going to happen. Anyway, some people just they're not built for it. They're not built for high stress. Some people are not. Neuralink says, sunny weather is here. I will ignore the pun. What's up, Woofer? Would you recommend for outdoor events that is light, has high dB output, and portable? That doesn't exist. I want an outside speaker with good bass, but light and portable. Okay, I will tell you this. I have, any point source sub will do the job. I get more concerned with, like arrays, you know, column arrays just tend to, disappear when you're outside. Just in general. I'm not saying all of them, but in general, they do. But any point source will do the job besides like the Mackie. You said affordable too, didn't you? Did you say affordable? Outdoor, light, high dB output, and portable. What's your budget? You know, I'm using this sentence more and more because as we've been moving into the LED walls and the LED floors and the lighting installs, people are like, I want this, I want this, I want that. I'm like, okay, what's your budget? Well, whatever I can afford. That's not what I said. What's your budget? Oh, I don't really know. Well, then how do you know that you want all these things if you don't have a budget? I mean, look, everybody's giving you their opinion, so you don't need me. There you go. There's nothing wrong. Again, point source. I used Eons for the longest time outside before we even invested in our first powered speakers were Eons because we were doing biamped passive systems. So the Eon and even the Eons were fine. USCs, 112s, any of them, fine. You know, it's just for whatever reason, a lot of column arrays disappear. Bose, L132 sub, they're sub 2, disappears that when it's outside. LDs, the 28s do a pretty damn good job outside. And I'm going to be honest with you. I just tried the 70s, the EV70s. I just tried those outside, and I was actually impressed by the sound. I didn't think that they would sound as good as they did outside. And I'm talking about outside with like no walls, nothing to bounce back. It was just going out into the ether. So I was actually pretty impressed by them. I'm assuming that the 90s are going to do the same outside, but better. You know, there is one thing I will say about I will say about the 70s versus the 90s. Versus the 90s. You have to EQ the 70s a little more aggressively than you do with the 90s. I think with the 90s, like I said in my video, um, you can use just like the live sound or the music sound. It'll be fine. You'll get perfect balance. I did not experience that with the 70s. The 70s, I actually had to put, and when I put into the club setting, basically what I'm doing is dropping down the high and dropping down the mid. Okay, that's essentially what I'm doing when I go to the club and put it. Beefs up the bass, drops the high and drops the mid, brings it more to a musical sound. I didn't realize, not that I didn't realize, but it makes sense because there's less power requirements for the sub. So that same level that you're pushing out for the 90, you're going to get more bass, which then is going to kind of take down the high anyway a little bit because the power goes to the bass first, and then the highs, are secondary. So, but on the 70s, you're getting more of a balanced input on both of them, the high and the low. So I didn't even realize it was because when you're by it, you're like, hey, this sounds pretty good. It sounds good because the bass always kind of sits by you. But as I turned it up and I walked out on the floor, I was like, oh, I got to bring down the highs. The highs were just too bright from my perspective, which is all that I can have is my perspective. But after I tweaked them, they sounded great. So, and I already said they sounded great outside. Okay, let's go back up. So-and-so. 1 or 2, so-and-so. You don't think I forgot, do you? You don't think I forgot about your J8s, right, so-and-so? Memory like a steel trap. Like a steel trap. DJ Dustin says, do you happen to have any suggestions for moving heads for someone who wants to get started with them? Moderate DMX understanding and looking for something at $600 or less. Well, I mean, the DMX doesn't really matter because they don't really make a dumb mover. Okay, every mover has different channel options typically. So if you want it to be basic, you just go to like their 3-channel option, or they'll do like a 3-channel, then they'll do like a 12-channel, then maybe they'll do like an 18-channel. So in general, you can decide how technical you want to get with it, if you get what I'm saying. I'm a big fan of like the Color Key 150s. I just did a review on them. I use those as one of my main ones. But like any of these these overseas market ones, whether that be, Sheds or B-Topper, they all do a solid job. They're all made by like the same companies out there. So you're not going to go wrong with any of them. But no matter what, you're still going to need, if you really want them to work properly, you're going to need to have you're going to have to work on your DMX understanding, because movers aren't like washes or lasers or swarm or whatever, where you can kind of put it on auto and it'll do its thing. For the most part, you can't run a mover like kind of in sound mode. They're just not designed without some DMX knowledge of being able to like shrink the space down, put the areas that you want it to be in, and let it just sit there the whole time. Besides Chauvet, having a totem mode, the ADJs might have a totem mode now, but a lot of them have the ability to kind of set exactly where you are shooting at visually. Okay, like with the Chauvets, if you don't have a controller, if you don't have a DMX, you can say, you know what, that's fine, I want the mover to go here, and it'll just sit there. You can literally program it to do that. So it just depends. But but you're still gonna have to work at it a little bit. Just being honest. Okay, let's see here. Let's see if I missed a question above. Okay. All right. New Chevet gig bar is a good starter in movers. The gig bar bridge, the two where it has the two movers. Yeah, I can see that. I'm just gonna call it like I see it. Okay. I have not been impressed by now, and keep in mind, I have gig bar move ILS. We have several of them. I have not been impressed by their movers. Now, they're fine, but at some of the prices they're charging, like I have the battery powered wireless ones, the I forget what they call it, Intimidator Spot Free. I have those. First off, one of them broke just doing this all day long, so I had to take it into Chevet to get fixed. Still haven't gotten it back yet, but I had to take it into Chevet to get fixed. It's not that I don't. One of the batteries is not lasting as long as it should. And the most important part, I think that their Gobos are outdated. I think they just look old. They haven't really updated their Gobos in years. And I don't understand why they haven't. I mean, I get it. You have like your signature ones, but come on. I mean, how many times do we have to see the same? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just kind of over it. I want something new, which is why when I went to the color key and it had like the dual, I'm like, oh my God, this is what I wanted. You know. So anyway, but to each their own. I still have a ton of Chevet stuff. I do. It's gonna work, especially if you rock ILS and you have a command. Oh, by the way, we made a full truss. We made a full truss of ILS build trusses. So that video's coming out. We just finished it. I think maybe Tuesday. 2 trusses, with washes, swarms, laser, and they all work right off of the command ILS. And we'll do a video on that. It wasn't sponsored. They didn't pay for anything. They didn't give me shit. But we did it anyway because we wanted to update one of the trusses and we needed to anyway. So we're like, hey, let's just see how it'll work if we use this in the command ILS. So yeah, that video will go. Not full battery powered. I didn't want to go that much. Plus, they're still limited on some of their battery powered stuff, and it would make that truss a lot heavier than I want that truss to be. So everything's daisy chained down. We just have one plug it into a wall. We're good. Everything's wireless. Anyway, are Gobos still popular though? Very 90s. I find static with a couple of movers on totems and the cleanless slug. Yeah, I think they are. I think the Gobos are very 80s and 90s because they're old as hell. They look old. I think that's the problem. It's not the Gobos, because I have plenty of Gobos that I shoot off the mover spot, like the B topper, that just have different style Gobos, and they work. But of course, yes, running with just standard circle, that's classic. That'll work just fine. But there's tons of ones where you have the ones that can kind of simulate like the water, and they still love that for the floor. And especially if you're doing multiple Gobos. I'm not saying you're doing one, but multiple Gobos. I tend to stay away from the ones that have defining edges on them, because I think that's the one, especially if you're running in prism mode, that's the one that starts to get a little weird. But yes, any of the water effects, yeah, the standard circles, the little dots always work well. You have the multiple size circles. Yeah. Lasers are still great with haze. Yes and no. Yes and no. A real laser is great with haze. And I'm talking something with like a 3 watt, not 3 watt total, but 3 watt per laser. A lot of these lasers that people are using now are just not good at all. It's like, some of the lasers like 0.3 on the diode. Maybe one goes up to like 0.5, and it is not the same as a real, high powered laser. And they've actually gotten smaller too. But I know people are scared of lasers because they're like, you burn out the person's camera. I just saw a post on somebody that was complaining, DJ, stop using lasers. And I'm like, photographers, stop pointing your camera lens at the laser. Stop blaming us for things that we do a lot of things wrong as DJs. We know this, but you're not out of the fire. You still have an obligation to do the job. And to say, ooh, what would be really cool? At weddings, no gobos work well. They all look tacky and old. Only solids. I think you're just using old ass gobos. I'm seriously. I'm not saying that you go out and you use some, extravagant gobos, but I think I think, and you can't say no gobos work well. That's extreme. and to be clear, just as I said, it's a preference. You can't say no gobos work well. Some people want gobos. Okay. Now, I don't know which ones you're using. Okay. But the newer style, the newer gobos are considerably different. They're not used. Everybody was kind of working off of Chauvet and ADJ. But, a lot of these newer ones are different now. And when you have these, where you have these multiple layer gobos, it really does change things like a lot. Now, again, to each their own, you do your thing, but what do you mean the dance floor is tacky? What do you guys talk? I don't know what you guys are talking about when you say the dance floors are tacky. I don't understand that. What we're talking about here is subjective statements here. Okay. It's just whatever you feel. You feel they're tacky. But I do. Yeah, it is, Lou. That's my whole point. I don't know what they're saying right now. I'm trying to understand the logic here because gobo. Okay, so a fixed gobo in a mover that's old may look tacky, but every mover has multiple gobos in them. So you can choose which ones you want. And especially if you're rocking like a prism effect, that changes everything. Now, if you're talking about shooting a single gobo on a floor, like a single gobo image, okay, I agree. Putting a single gobo image on a dance floor to me is unnecessary because people are dancing, so there's not going to be a reason for it. It's a waste of money. I don't even sell any type of gobos for the dance floor. I tell them, no, I'm not going to do it. What do you mean? Because you're going to be dancing. That's the whole point. You hired us to get people dancing. So what's the point of having the gobo here? I will shoot it on a wall. That I agree with. When I'm saying gobos, I'm talking about the gobos and the movers. Movers have gobos, but it's only as tacky as the damn image. You get what I'm saying? So to each their own, but it's only as tacky as that. Okay. Maybe they are talking about the monogram gobo. I can only speak in one language, and that's English. And a gobo is a gobo. No matter how much you want to try to make things differently, or if one has a design and one has an image and one has a static image and it's still a gobo. It's still a gobo. I don't know what this means, so I'm just going to keep it moving. Okay. Let's see here. Ouch. Ouch. That is high. That's a lot. That's a lot. Let's see. When am I going to use mine? I am going to use mine. Where am I? At SLS. Anyway. Okay. All right. Let's see. The chat rate is moving slow today. DJ G Kenny in the house. What's going on? All right. Let me go back up since you guys are moving slow on this. You guys expect me to just tell stories all day? What do I look like? Okay. Let's see here. I am positive. Lou, I'm positive. I'm just honest. And some people can't take honest. When they hear people talking honest, they're like, "Oh my God, is there something wrong?" No, I'm just saying the quiet parts out loud. And it just, I don't know. I know it scares people. It just doesn't scare me. Like it scares other people. Okay. All right, Dustin. Oh, what is Dustin's budget here? 600 or less. I mean, there's always the LDs. The LDs are more affordable, but I think you're probably going to need to get up to about 1,000, 1,000 to 1,200 in reality to get yourself like a quality sub. There's a difference between, oh my God, I need to get a sub for this right now, blah, blah, blah. Or I'm looking to use this sub for the future and I want to get something decent that I won't have to upgrade immediately. Okay. There's a fine line. So I would say, kind of try to shoot in the middle. Mondi says, software question. The DJs that primarily use Serato, how do you have your playlist updated in Rekordbox for the occasions you want to use USB or CDJ? Digital conversion utility. Every time I get on this show and people ask me, what softwares do this thing? And I swear to God, I draw a blank on the other one every time. I think it's like Mixmaster has some like, he has something over me that stops me from saying whatever the hell the other one's called. What's it called? I will never like this computer. All right, let's see here. I think it's called, I'm sure somebody's answering it right now for me. Lexicon. And there's other ones that are on the market too. But I think those are probably the two largest ones. But yeah, you basically just need to sync your Serato database to Rekordbox every so often, and then export from Rekordbox to your USB thumb drives. And you can do the same thing for Rekordbox. You can do the same thing if you had like a Denon Prime Go, or you're using Denon software. Same thing. You can export to Rekordbox, pop that USB right in there, and Denon Prime will index it properly for you. So that's what I would do. Okay. All right. Mixmaster looks like he hopped in. So there you go. Weddings never do the lasers, in all honesty, in my opinion. But to each their own. All right. Let's see here. This is a very ignorant statement. Okay? This is a very ignorant statement. I'll explain why. It's a very ignorant statement. First off, I have literally over 500 clients. Okay. In every year. All right. In May alone, we're doing 57 events. Okay. In May alone. That's not factoring in, the 9 we just did last Saturday. Actually, we ended up doing 12 when you factor in Friday and Sunday, or the other, 45 we have in June. First off, if you're a working DJ, the idea is to be profitable. Okay. To be profitable. Charge your clients more is the easiest way to lose all of your business. To charge your clients unjustified amounts is an easy, surefire way to lose your business. Now, keep in mind, I'm not talking about a client that says, hey, by the way, I'd like you to provide this for me. And you say, well, I got to order it. And if I got to order it, I got to order online and I got to order it overseas and it's going to cost more money. Okay. That's a one-off. That's different. All right. What you're describing right here is just charging your clients more just because. That is not good business. All right. You have to see how tariffs affect your business specifically. Okay. And if you're not ordering tons of stuff overseas, which we do, by the way, then there's no reason for you to just arbitrarily raise your rates. It depends. If I buy a new microphone and I have to pay more for that microphone because of tariffs, okay, I'm not charging my client. That's not their job. That's my job. Now, if over time, when you're buying all this stuff, you realize, oh my God, the upkeep that it takes to run a business is up now because of tariffs. I have to raise my rates to adjust to it, to account for it. That's different. It's the same thing as like when people are like, oh, hey, gas has gone up. I should raise my rates. Well, before you raise your rates, first off, you should have some sort of padding built into every contract you do. You should have some padding in there. When you do estimates, you take your estimates and then you have to add on a small percentage just for those what ifs and the, oh my God, I had to drive back. I had to do this. All of these things are a part of running a business. So lines like this piss me off because it's not helping anybody. It's not helping anybody. Okay. These are just, it's an ignorant statement. We need to do better. All right. This statement here has no merit because there's nothing behind it. Okay, we need to do better. So, anyway, yeah, I agree with you on this one. Absolutely. You got to move them. Static, I don't do. And, I really don't. Stop blaming Trump. I'm not blaming Trump. I mean, I am blaming Trump. The tariffs. I don't go into, look, I've been on this earth for a while now. Okay. I'm an older cat. All right. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to be able to see what's causing what. It does not take it. This is a Trump issue. He put the tariffs on, he raised them to these extreme rates. Now, I'm not saying that what he's doing or isn't doing doesn't mean that it could be good in the long run. I'm not saying any of that. All right. I'm not talking about that because that's where everybody wants to go. Well, I don't give a shit about that. I'm saying that it's the tariffs that he signed, the executive order, didn't run it through Congress, didn't do any of that. He put those in there. This is a him thing. This is nobody else. Nobody told him to do that. So it is absolutely Trump that needs to be blamed. That's it. We got to be real on this, okay? We're acting naive for no reason. We got to be real. Okay. Neuralink says, what do you believe is an acceptable minimum deposit? My deposits are 30%. 30% is the default. And then if for whatever reason they need to make adjustments, they need to, they can't pay or whatever, it costs too much, I will work around them. I will work with them. I don't work with everybody, but I work with people. I mean, that's what I'm saying. These are one-offs. You know what I mean? It's like if somebody's like, hey, you know what? I want to book it, but this is a big, because what happens is, let's say in our packages, whatever. Let's say a package costs $3,000. Okay. Before they would go in and we would just charge like $1,000 fixed fee, no matter how high it was. Okay. Sorry, I'm listening for my ducks. No matter how high it was, it would just be that $1,000. But then, which $1,000, is technically that 30%. Okay, maybe a little higher than 30%. So, but then when we started doing LED walls and we started doing, light installs, then the number shot up. Okay, but because they only gave $1,000, you're kind of allowing them to decide if it's okay to walk away. You get it? Somebody gives you, 10% down payment. If something comes up, they're like, I'm cool. Let's say you charge, let's say your bill is $2,000. Okay. And you only charge 10%. All right. That's $200 that they have paid you. I know lots of people that'll walk away at $200. Most people aren't walking away, at $700. Okay, that is a sizable down payment. That's why 30% tends to work. So we were originally doing it at 1,000, and then we were like, you know what? I need people to feel as uncomfortable as I am, because anytime you book something, even with the contract, there are some outs in it depending. So I want to make as much money as possible. And to do that, if you charge them 30% and all of a sudden, let's say with the LED wall on the floor, whatever, let's say it ends up being like $15,000. They got to put $5,000 down. That $5,000, I know for a fact, will keep those people there. But if I'm like, oh yeah, the down payment's still only $1,000, even at 10%, if it's a $15,000 package, $1,500, I don't know. They're still kind of potentially walking away from that. So I tend to stay. I don't do 50. I think 50 is too much for me personally. I do 30. I think 30 is a perfect middle ground. Now, of course, if they're getting closer to the date, they're last minute people. Yeah, then I would say, either you're paying in full right now, or you're doing, 50%. That's what I would suggest. Okay. You have to make it as easy as possible for people to book you. Yeah, exactly. 50% is too much for me. It makes it harder. And if you're doing a lot, like let's say like I said, you have more than just my DJ services, that 50% grows real fast. Trust me. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I just realized their bill was like $17,000 and I just asked for 30%. That's a lot of money to be coming out right now when they sign their contract. So I work with people. Okay. I can see my Serato list on VDJ, and VDJ can export to Rekordbox. Okay, but he's saying he uses Serato. not virtual DJ. Either way, you're going to have to pay for something. Either way. All right. Established customers and institutional business don't pay a deposit. Strangers do. I don't know. I take a deposit from my established customers too. So to each their own. I have clients that I've booked, 8 times in a row, and they still pay a deposit. The deposits, that's what locks it in, So getting on a bad list. Okay, we need to clarify what this means, DJ Chachi. They're not talking about just lasers, okay? Because there are, first off, I'm not talking about them bullshit lasers that leave speckles all over your body, okay? The ones that are in any gig bar or, something like that, okay? I'm not talking about Swarm. All those lasers that stuff is annoying to photographers, period, because it just messes up their whole picture. Okay. That's the one thing. That one, I tell people, just turn it off. Turn it, at least during the opening dance set, big dances, whatever, turn off that laser, and so that's when, like, the command ILS really comes into play, because you can just turn the laser off immediately. So the lasers they're usually talking about are the ones that are the 3-watt diode lasers that can fry your cameras. But legally, you're not supposed to run lasers that low. Okay. So if the person knows what they're doing, the laser runs high. It's 10, 12 feet in the sky and it stays above you the whole time, and the cameramen just don't point your camera at the lasers. Anyway, if your costs rise, you pass along to the client. Okay. Chatsy jumps Spike Lee 5 today. Gotcha. I didn't think about it. Okay. I'm letting them go through their thing because I see the chat jumped up. Gas was an example I was going to mention. Yeah. I mean, we do a cost analysis, usually once a year, and we decide if we want to increase the prices. Now, gas, for a minute when gas was like, getting up there, we're in LA. Gas was like $7, $8 a gallon, and it got real bad real fast. And we were like, we may need to raise our prices. But then they dropped down again. So it was still manageable. Again, when you set your cost, you're supposed to have those incidental paddings in there. If you don't, that's you. That's not the client, that's you. You're not supposed to just arbitrarily just change rates. By the way, changing rates all the time is not good for your business either. Oh, I'm sorry, it's too high now. Really? You didn't have that budgeted in? So now you're just arbitrarily changing rates every 3 weeks? Like, come on. That's not good business. It's not good business. You will look shady. It's like the same thing when, like, the tariffs hadn't even been enacted yet, and some of these companies were already trying to charge. The LED dance floor that we bought, okay, and you guys are talking, and you're talking about pass it on to your clients, okay? Fine. The clients wanted the LED dance floor, all right? So we went out and looked to buy the dance floor. We went on our sites. They were like, yeah, it's like $13,000. We're like, okay, that's manageable. We'll do that. We'll make our money back quickly. Oh, but the tariffs, they wanted $25,000 for the same thing. We're like, no, we're not doing that. Now, you think that if I spend $25,000 on a floor, that I can charge that value of the tariff onto the client? They're not paying it. Now, you know why they're not paying it? Because you're not the only one in business. You're not the only one. I'm doing an LED floor. There's 10 other companies that are doing LED floors. So if all of a sudden I'm like, well, I got to recoup my cost, and typically it takes 3 to 4 times to recoup your cost. So it cost me $24,000. I got to rent this LED floor for $8,000. $8,000 for this one client to recoup it. Now, the other person, there's 5 other people that are charging $4,500. They're not going to book mine just because. So no, you can't just pass it on to your client. It's not how business works. Everybody wants to talk about business. And sometimes I'm like, well, just because you talk about business doesn't mean that, like you've been in it. Anybody can be a businessman. Anybody can. That doesn't make you a businessman. Okay, that was a little terrible. But you see what I'm saying. And no, we don't do that here. Okay, this is not a DJ only thing. I talk about my family. I talk about stuff that's going on. I just talked about life and death. Okay? There's a limit to how far I will talk about political, but I don't agree with the zero politics. That'll never happen. If somebody says something to me, I'm not just going to be like, my fans don't want that. I don't care. If I really cared about it, there'd be a lot of things that I would not talk about. If that really concerned me. You know what I'm saying? So people are allowed to say what they want to say, and I'm allowed to check them if they say some dumb shit. That's it. That's it. But we're human beings, guys. We live in this. You know, we can't, I don't want to. No. You say some dumb stuff, I'm going to say something back. Capricorn. New York. Okay. All right. Let's hop down. All right. Let's see here. Guys, sure battery charger that complains, blinks orange if I try to charge, but it's fine. Okay. Sure battery charger that complains, blinks orange if I try to charge a Shure wireless battery, but it's fine charging a dock mic with the battery inside. I haven't seen that on mine. I have one Shure microphone that has the battery bay inside, but I have not experienced that. But then again, I don't use that mic that much in general. Anyway, okay. I think you can create a payment schedule 1/3 upon signing 2-3 months prior. It's really up to you. I mean, it's up to you. It's really up to you. How many weeks before the event? My 30% is upon signing the contract. That's it. It's upon signing the contract. And then I don't do the whole, then you pay again in 6 months and you pay again in, 9 months. Mine is you pay your 30% up front and then you pay your final bill 2 weeks before the event. That's it. I'm very easygoing. And probably because we actually have, considerable events every month. So I don't really think about it, and it keeps the money coming in. Okay. Let's see here. DJ Lopes in the building. I wish you could show the picture I sent you on Instagram of the Trump cap going in cost. Yeah, exactly. Lasers pointed at people. No, they need to be pointed up. Exactly. Yeah. You're never supposed to point at the people. Ever. Lots of stuff, Biggie Smalls. We do a lot of stuff. We do. I mean, you got to keep in mind, we do LED walls. We do full light custom installs. We just bought our LED floor, so that's going to start going in. We obviously have our DJs, our MCs, our dancers, because we do a lot of bar and bat mitzvahs. But then we also do travel. Like, again, we're in the Bay Area. We have 2 parties in the Bay, 1 party in Arizona. That's all this weekend. And then, 6 parties in local Southern California. So it adds up. It adds up fast, and I'm not complaining. Okay. This is true. This is very true. Yeah. All right. Alfredo, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. Okay. No, don't go away. Where'd it go? Mac Joseph in the building. Okay, there we go. Now I'm back to normal here. Okay. Scott Bowman says 100% agree on raising prices. Just be fair and reasonable. Your customers will appreciate that. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you get it. That's business. So don't buy the damn floor. Yeah, we didn't. We bought it cheaper. That's my point. But the floor wouldn't be bought. Okay, why am I even talking? I'm done. Again, okay, Callow is correct. There's a lot of people that run businesses that don't see big picture. They're just very happy to be a business person. And look, I own my own business, but they're not thinking about the long term. They're not thinking about real profit margins. They're not thinking about growth. When we first started, all we had was me, my partner, 2 dancers, because we do a lot of bar and bat mitzvahs, some old JBL carpeted speakers with some Cerwin-Vega earthquakes, trusses that had nothing in them. We had to build the truss and put everything in there. That's all we had. At that point, we weren't thinking about LED walls and lighting installs and flooring and furniture. We weren't thinking about any of that stuff. But we want people to feel like they can get everything they want from us, but they don't have to get everything else they want from us because we don't force it down their throat. And we run a good service that keeps people coming back. You know, we don't, our rates, although in some capacities, some people can consider them expensive, but we have lower tiers. You just lose some options, and those people that are like, well, I want this and I want that. It's like, okay, well, if you're demanding, here's your price point for demanding. If you're asking, well, if possible, then yeah, then we're here. And it's all reasonable, but we're not just arbitrarily just trying to just take advantage of people, And I think consistency and having a continuous, pricing structure, management structure, all of those things lead to confidence in your clients and confidence in telling somebody else. Like, it's great to be able for a client to be able to say, oh, you know what? I mean, 8 years ago, I used Check One too. They were great then. They're still great now. Give them a call. Yeah, they're still around. And then when they call, yeah, the prices might have changed, but the service is still the same. The attitude is still the same. The one-on-one is still the same. Consistency over everything. All right. Yeah, I'm not listening to small minds. Just so we're clear, I'm seeing a lot of comments in here. I'm not responding to small minds. If that's just not how I work. I'm trying to grow a business into a damn dynasty. I'm trying to grow a business into where when I'm done, not only is there money continuously coming in, but my kids have money too. I'm not concerned about small-minded thoughts. That's it. I mean, to each their own. I like I said, I think that $100 is something that people can walk away from. And I want it to be something where I'm confident that they're booking and that they're confident that they're not going to go searching for other people and leaving you. I can walk away from $100, So, I mean, it's not like, obviously they did the same thing for the Cybertruck and it seemed to work. So I'm to each their own, but we're going to require some more money. I don't trust $100. Okay. Okay. Let me hop down. All right. Sure. Battery. All right. The problem with most DJs is that they are not educated enough to know how to run a business. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean, they should definitely consider taking a course. I'm sure that as I was telling my story and you were saying that I didn't even see that, but that's exactly what I was saying. Exactly. My boy got the milk dud. It's not so bad. I got a nice shaped head. Don't hate on the head. Yeah. I mean, I'm fortunate. I can at least be bald. To each their own. Don't hate. All right, let's see here. All right. Lou says, do you have a gratuity clause in your contract that states that it's not required, but if you want to include gratuity, it's greatly appreciated? That's actually that's a good question. We don't actually bring it up. We don't bring it up. And maybe we don't bring it up because I don't know, in our market, in our industry, especially dealing with party planners and things like that, they're usually the ones that say you got to tip your people. Now, I've had tons of people ask me, oh, I love when they say this, is tip included in the bill? No. No, it's not included. And how dare you even say that about me? No, it's not. But I tell them, when they say, is tip included? I say, no, it's not included. However, it's optional. You don't have to tip. And then they'll always say, well, how much is a good tip? And then I'll tell them. For the dancers, typically it's like $50 a person. For the MC and DJ, typically it's $100 a person. Now, you can tip however much you want to. I'm just telling you what the average is. And I go, great, thanks. That's it. And everybody wins. But yeah, I don't make it mandatory. Trust me. I shouldn't make it anything because these sons of bitches love not tipping me. Okay, here's 100 for this dancer, 100 for this dancer. Here, MC, here's 100 for you. Oh, Terry, you're an owner. You don't need to get tips. I absolutely do need to get tipped. I got family. I got bills. I got kids. They love to think that the money we make is just falling into my pockets, that I don't have any other cost associated with running a business. Like your package, your package is just for your package, right? Like, and there's everything is built into there, but I never get mad. I just kind of get annoyed. All right. If you have to keep one only, what would you keep? Your lighting, video business, or DJ business? Assuming you can get the lighting gigs easily. 100% the lighting, video business. That is a easy question to answer. Profit margins are higher. That's it. I can DJ anywhere, but the profit margins are higher if you can get in there and get the work. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Now we do use, we do, sorry, I'm looking at other comments and it's throwing me. We do use the DJs. That is the leverage. It's the leverage to build our business up. So because we've spent the last 17 years earning people's trust that we do a good job. So when we bring things into play, they're like, oh, you do that too? Well, I know you do a great job at this, so you're probably going to do a great job at that. Yeah, we'll trust you. Like, that's how we leverage it. Then we do the wall, and then people are like, oh, the wall was great. What else you got? Well, we have a floor too. We can do the floor too. Oh, you can do the floor too? Do the floor too. Oh, we do the lighting too. Oh, you do the lighting? Do the lighting. Like, it's all there. It's all there. But it's all being leveraged off the success of our DJ company. So at a certain point, I'm estimating probably another, I don't know, 2 years. We will get planners and people that will just start booking us just to run their outside stuff. They might bring in another DJ, which I don't care about. They can bring in another DJ and we'll go from there. And then at that point, it doesn't matter. I know at least 2 production companies that used to be huge DJ companies. They barely DJ anymore because the money's in the production. Money's always in the production. Always. Okay. Yeah, Drew. That makes sense. I get that. All right, let's see here. Sick with it, yo. I haven't caught you live in years. Damn, don't make me feel old. I've been watching you since my first Rain mixer. Good to see you, man. Thanks for hanging out today. Appreciate you. It's like when I do let's see here. I have done weddings into bar mitzvahs. So think about that. That's at least 13 years. Separate. I have done bar mitzvahs into weddings. So that could be anything, but typically they bar mitzvah to 13, 12 or 13. They get married, 21, 22, 23, 24. So that could be 10 years, 12 years. Those are the weird ones when you do the kids, anything. But then there's like Big Daddy who does like grandkids and like, hey, teach their own, man. That's dope. Okay. What do we got here? 12 o'clock. All right. Is that black coffee or is that Cleveland Terry? Hey, Lehman. Good to see you, man. All right. Well, Drew, you have to consider it in the upper Midwest. Okay, that's that. Random question. What camera do you use for live stream? Keeping up with the DJQ. That's a Sony A7 IV. I know. It looks good. You ain't got to tell me. I know it looks good. The lights help too, because I've used this camera for a while now. But I finally got like what I feel like is like my perfect balance of lighting, whether it be from the flood up here. And I only have one flood. I got this flood right here. You see the shadow. And then I have, which is just a LED panel. This projects light off, which comes to my back, gives me a nice little, ring light effect. Not ring light. I forget what it's called. Anyway, this is from Lopes. DJ Lopes gave me that one, and that comes up here and gives me a little more lighting on this side. And then my what do you call that thing? What is it called? Nanoleaf. My Nanoleaf, which works with the Denon Prime Go. And I always thought that it was cool, but weird. Like, why would SoundSwitch be so focused on? I mean, I think at one point SoundSwitch was like trying to be like the lighting company for like your house too. I think they might have gone away with that anyway, but the Nanoleaf works with that. Anyway, okay, let's see here. Y'all got jokes today. That's okay. Y'all got jokes. Yeah, you got to know your market. Market's very important. How is life over there in Cleveland? It's nothing. See, this is how I know, JTM. This is how I know. You're borderline a troll today. Because you would know that I don't live in Cleveland if you really were on here a lot. Or anywhere. Anywhere. I was on here. Anywhere. Create a song and dance. That's where the money is. No, it is not. Oh, that's funny, Drew. That's crazy. Drew says, and if you're listening and driving, when we did sound for drag shows, the performers would constantly rant, "Don't forget to tip." But they were the ones that never tipped the DJs. Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do. Yeah. If your budget's $500, $100, that's reasonable. That's absolutely reasonable. That's, you add a quarter in, that's 25% right there. So you're doing about 20%. That's fine. That's exactly fine. I'll be walking about Mac. Did you create different LLCs for the production stuff, or are they under one DJ? I'm not an LLC. I'm a corporation. So, I am a S Corp. So yeah, there you go. Oh, Yaha. That's a lot, man. That is a lot. Your most unexpected experiences? I have probably too many to name. Probably the funniest one that I always remember every time I think about like the old shit moments, because we've had a lot of old shit moments. We've been in business for 17 years, and prior to that, I worked for another company for 10 years. So that's 27 years in the industry. not to factor in just DJing outside of it too. I still remember the one bar mitzvah I did. It was at the Warner Center Marriott in Woodland Hills. And I remember we were on the second floor upstairs, so it was a smaller room compared to the ones downstairs, which are the larger ones, obviously. And we already knew that grandma paid for the bar mitzvah. We knew that, which is, fairly common. Not common for me. I got to pay for my own, but it's fairly common for, people out there, their parents chip in. So we knew that. Mom was unique, to say the least. So we're doing the party. Everything's going well. I was emceeing that party. I wasn't DJing. I was emceeing. Everything's going well. We're about to do the video montage. Time for the speeches. Mom wants to speak. So give mom the microphone. We're not thinking anything of it. Mom speak all the time, And she starts off, hey, I want to thank, I love my kid. And I just hope that he's having the best time in the world. And I'm like, okay, that's good. And, I also want to thank, and by the way, there was no husband in the picture. Okay. And we were told not to talk about, don't bring up a husband. Don't bring him up. He's dead. He's not dead, but he's dead. So, she's talking and she's just like, I want to thank my son, whatever, for becoming a man. Now I want to talk to my mom. My mom has been there, forever. She's obviously been there for day one and she's always had my back. And even though I've had so much shit happen to me, my ex-husband, raped me and he was a drug user and all the shit that we went through, my mom always had my back. And, I would do anything for my mom. Mom, I fucking love you. And, everything about it. Make sure you thank my mom. And literally, and then she was just like, thank you. And she gave me the microphone back. And I swear to God, I have never been completely shell shocked, but I sat there like, okay, hopefully you guys can see the video behind me and it just went on. That was different. That was definitely different. So there's that. Stage 1 speakers are killing it. No wires. Yeah, whatever. And I say that in the best possible way, Mac. I don't care. I don't care that there's no wires. You know what I mean? Just, is it really that hard? I know there's this new wave of people that are just like, they want everything to be battery powered and wireless. And it's so funny because I truly believe that the more you just DJ, okay, like you don't do other things with it. Like you do your weddings, you do your whatever, your quinceañeras. The more you just DJ, the more you want to make life easier than ever. Okay. And I just find that it's always the ones that are like, oh yeah, well, it's just me and it's less work for me. So I can go wireless here. I can go Bluetooth here. I can go battery powered here. And that's great for you. But I'm telling you, for me, it's like the more I do production, the more I go back to wires, because wires are the only thing that are reliable. Like I see people, like we've been doing, like I said, these light installs, and maybe we got to put a light on the truss in the center of the dance floor, and then it's got to shoot down. And people are like, you should just put a Chevy, DeFi up there or DMX, whatever. And I'm like, well, that's great, but what if I don't know, the battery dies, or if something happens and the channel gets bumped, I can't get back up there to make the adjustments. So I'm going wired. Wired runs better. Wired is faster. Wired is more reliable. And if depending on the situation, sometimes I go DMX, but a lot of times I go wired. Wires have dying on me lately. Come on, man. Come on, Cletus. I guarantee you're going to have more safety by just buying new wires than you are by buying any type of like DMX or whatever, and not running into signal and frequency bleeds. It happens. It happens. Now, if it's things that are low on the totem pole, okay, like lighting. If you're just doing movers on the dance floor, like that's low on the totem pole. Like if you want to rock DMX, wireless DMX, fine. But if like that lighting needs to do things on cue and do things on command, I'm going wired. Like if I have mission critical stuff, I'm going wired. It's just me. Anyway, everybody to each their own. Yeah, Chevy, exactly. And actually, I just found this out. Not only does it have speed limits, but if it's in a channel that has some sort of like transmission issues, like there's other things running into it, I thought that my DeFi was broken, because like I had my WMX1 with the Chevy sticking out. I had the thing like, let's say, the fixture was right here. I have the let's call it Wi-Fi, the WMX1 right here, just sitting there. And literally I'd hit the button, nothing would happen. I'd hit it again. It would take like 3 seconds and then flip. I was like, that's weird. I went to change the channel, and hey, what do you know? It was that one particular channel that was having the problem. Now, again, you go somewhere else and maybe that channel's working the best. So that's why sometimes wired is faster. You say fast setup, Mac. Sometimes it's faster to just plug a wire in than it is to look for the best frequencies and all that stuff. So to each their own. It just depends. It just depends. Yeah. And it's funny. I mean, everything's different, but like with my Chevy Freedom Power hexes, they work with the DeFis on, you have to have it on that specific channel, right? And the default channel is like 1. Makes sense. So when you turn on a DeFi, it just runs properly. But let's say, for instance, you have to change, okay? We're talking about wired versus not. Let's say you have to change frequency because you're having some signal issues, all right? I change it on my master output, DMX output, change it on there. Now I have to change it not only on the icicles, the Chevy icicles, which by the way are still some of the best. They do work the best, but I got to change it on there. But now I got to change it on every single uplight if I'm running it. Okay. Now, if I were going wired, maybe, I'm not wiring uplights. That's crazy. I would choose static over wiring up uplights. But if I have to do anything else, then yeah, the wiring is going to be faster. If I'm running an LED wall and I got one truss on the clear opposite side of a 18-foot wall, sometimes that signal doesn't hit properly. So I got to run hardwired, because that way I know it's going to work. You get it? And yeah, I don't use 5-pin. I use 3-pin. I'm not trying to do all that. Okay. All right. It is 12:11. We are only going till 12:30 today. Yes, exactly. Exactly. All right. Let's see what we got. How much? Biggest balance. How much will your daughter's bat mitzvah cost you, even with you doing production? Oh man, I don't know. If I have it my way, because we're doing food trucks, I'm trying to stay at about, and it all depends on how we end up. I'm trying to stay between 12 and 15. That's the number I'm trying to stay at. That's a reasonable number to me. Everything else, yeah, the company's covering. I mean, the company's going to cover the majority of that, because, that's all marketing. That's a marketing expense. Okay. All right. I get that, except I wish it was just comedy. Okay. Rapper Prod in the building. What's going on? All right. Let's see here. Yeah. 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 It's, yeah. Uh, I'm not, hey, I've already moved on. I'm good. Honestly, that's, uh, so, and if you guys don't understand how I work, uh, and all my friends do too, I don't really hold on to things, you know? And the reason why I don't hold on to things is because I don't let things go. If somebody says something I don't agree with, I'm gonna call them out. If I see something that is not working, I'm gonna call it out. If there's a problem, I'm gonna call it out. And then afterwards, after I've said my piece, I move on. That's it. I'm done. It's gone. It's gone off my back. And maybe that's why I don't have a lot of stressors, because I say it and then I move on. But to each their own. But yeah, there's nothing. I'm good. I'm good. I'm thinking of getting a small group of local DJs together each week. Oh, sorry. To network and help each other out. I watch a lot of your live streams to gain as much knowledge as possible. Keep it up. Thank you. Hey, that's a great idea. It's a great idea. I think there's a lot of DJs out there that get stagnant because they don't get out and see other people. They don't get out and talk and hear other perspectives. You know, I am over time have become a very open-minded person. I don't assume anything. You know, I'm not quick to judge for the most part. I mean, unless I meet you and I have that feeling, I go with my gut instinct. And my gut instinct says you're not a good person. Trust me, that's going to be it. But to each their own. So yeah, I just kind of, you know, everybody's, I get it now. I get it when old people like, you know, like old people, when they're just like, I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, you know, these old racist white folks, all of a sudden are fine hanging out with black people and stuff. They're just over it. They're done with the amount of energy it takes to be whatever they are. Okay. And now they're just like, I'm just trying to enjoy the rest of my life. You know, I think most people will find out that the older you get, the more you realize how dumb a lot of the stuff in life is. And getting angry at that stuff is only hurting you. You know, there's a lot of things that we can't control in life. So why get mad at it? Can't control it anyway. Only get mad at the things you can control. The things you screwed up on. Get mad at those things. Don't get mad at the things that are completely out of your control. It was going to happen whether you wanted it to or not. So just move on. So I don't know. That's it. That's why I feel like I just have less stress that way, you know, because if it's bothering me, you're going to know about it. My wife loves to hate that about me. You are the liveliest troll on the planet, Mac. You are the liveliest troll on the planet. Yeah, there are a lot of DJ meetups. I'm actually kind of sad that there used to be meetups all the time with like DJ City. I think that was great for them, but they've kind of stopped doing that. Which is, it's to each their own. Oh, you know what? Let me see. Let me make sure I don't have like a 12:30 call. I didn't even look at that. No. Okay. Either way, because I want to eat first. And the only good thing about today, out of all my calls, I don't have any Zooms. That is the only thing that that I'm good with. That means I can take my calls on the road, and I got to go to Calamigos Ranch today because I'm doing a light install for a wedding client at the end of May. And they're in a room that I haven't been in, or I have, but I just don't remember the room. So now I have to go there. That's the joy of of doing production. You know, when you're just a DJ and you're like, no, I know the room. I don't need to. All my stuff is modular. I don't need to go to the room. I don't need to go an hour away. It's the Oak Room. I don't need to go an hour away to see that room. I know exactly what the room is. But when you're doing production, you got to see every room, or else you can't quote them properly. Or you make some assumptions, then either they're getting screwed or you're getting screwed. So, I got to go there right after this. I'm going to I got to wait for my daughter because do they have early day today? They've had testing this week. So she's been getting home at 12:20 every day. I don't think that's the case. Anyway. All right. Hey, look, 13 messages. This is why I have to go today. Spectrum. It's not so much that it's not a simple room. It's the amount. I saw the room and on the things, but it's tinted and there are posts and I can't give an accurate uplight. I can't give accurate uplights. I can't give accurate, color washes and all that stuff without seeing the room. I'll have to see it one time. And then after that, I'm good. DJ Unforgiven. That is a very good question. I don't know. I don't know. I got to assume so. I have a really good relationship with LD. I got to assume so, but I can't guarantee it. I'll email my guy and see what he says. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's see here. We're back to Marvel? Spider-Verse, best Marvel film I've seen okay. Into the Spider-Verse and Beyond the Spider-Verse. So I read up a lot. Like I'm a Marvel nerd too. I read up a lot on the whole Sony Into the Spider-Verse thing. So apparently there is one writer who basically writes all of them, and he wrote Into the Spider-Verse. It did so well. They hadn't shot 2 yet because they didn't know how good 1 was going to be. So so after 1, they started working on 2. They wanted to do 2 and 3 together to save money, get it all done. They knew it was going to be a 2-parter. But apparently the head writer is kind of like an egomaniac, and he kept like changing the story up. You can't change a story when you're doing animation. Like this is something you have to completely scrap and rewrite and all that stuff. So apparently he changed the script so much that they couldn't end up doing 3. So they only shot 2. They still had no idea how they were going to end it with 3. And now, because of how difficult he is, it's been being delayed and delayed. They hadn't even started doing the animation or shooting this year. Now it's scheduled to come out, I think, in 27, sometime in 27. I'm very disappointed in that one because 2 ended so abruptly that I'm like, well, this means it's got to be coming out in at least like a year, like less than a year, because that's not a way to end. That's not even a cliffhanger. That's trash. Like, come on. Anyway, so we have to wait, which sucks. Okay. But that's like, yeah, but I wish it was a Marvel thing. That's a Sony thing. Sony, I don't think Sony really believed that it was going to be successful. But it really is one of the Into the Spider-Verse. It legitimately one of the best movies, one of the best Marvel movies ever. I mean, if I were to count things, I would say Spider-Verse is. I don't want to give like top. I'll just say like top 10. Spider-Verse, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. I would put Days of Future Past in it. I'd put Logan in it. Obviously, I put Endgame in it. Endgame still holds up. I put Infinity War in it. Infinity War holds up better than Endgame, although Endgame is a necessary watch. You have to watch Endgame too. But I don't think that Endgame. I don't think it holds up as well as Infinity War does. And Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is top 10. Top 10. Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm going to see. We were just talking about Thunderbolts. Yes, I'm going to go see that. I don't know when I'll see it. It's either going to be. Well, let's see here. I might. Oh, so tonight, since the family's leaving to go to Orange County for the competition, I'm going to go see Sinners tonight. Original Guardians, absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to go see Sinners tonight. And by the way, just him as a director, he doesn't miss. He doesn't miss. He just makes good films. He knows. That's why I believe Superman's going to be good, because he knows how to make films. I think I'm going to see Sinners tonight, and then I will go see, and then I'll go see Thunderbolts tomorrow night, alone, which I don't mind. I've never had issue with going to see movies alone. I think that's the best bet. I sit where I want. You know, I eat what I want. Everything's all good. Yeah, there you go. I don't know how people can't do things on their own. Like my wife would never go see a movie alone. Never. I'm like, that's the best kind of movie. My wife says the same thing. I'm like, he all right. I mean, the mustache is mustaching. And I don't know. I don't know. I feel like his face is like disproportionate. But that's just us hating on a brother. You know, I'm like, look at him. Of course, yes, we know why you like him. We know, but I can hate a little bit. Oh yeah, I was like Michael B. Jordan. Like, oh, shut up. Okay, when we first got together, my wife and I, just we'll start to end it. When we first got together, my wife has always been, she's honest like me. Okay. That's just the way it is. And when we were first dating, she was just like, oh, that guy's cute. Oh, that guy's cute. Oh, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, I know. I get it. Like, let it go. And it was like, back then we were watching the Lakers, and what we were watching like, the old, like 2000 Lakers, you know, Shaq and Kobe and, oh God, what's the point guard's name? The point guard. What was the point guard's name? I don't know why Luke is in my head, but it's not him. Anyway, and the point guard, Derek Fish, exactly, Derek Fisher, and Derek Fisher came on, and Meta. Nobody's saying Meta good looking. Nobody's saying that. And her and her friends were like, who's that? Oh, that's D Fish. Ooh, D Fish. Ooh. And I'm like, and then one day, and there's Rick Fox too, but Rick Fox is like, he's light skinned pretty. There's difference, you know, like people just kind of like, that's something that like, even like men and women can agree on. Like, oh, you like that light skin? You know, what we say. But then we were talking about something, and she was talking about how she went to Starbucks, and she was like, oh, and then this guy, you know, what, like the cashier or whatever was taking her order. She's like, oh, and this pretty guy, pretty eyes, and this and this. And I'm like, hey, okay, I know you're comfortable with being honest with me all the time, but this has got to stop. We gotta spread this out more. Like, I'm set in who I am and what I am, but we gotta spread this out, you know? And then she was like, oh, okay. And then she realized, like, yeah, like I know what she likes. I know what she likes. I'm glad I'm one of them. Anyway, all right. So 12:26. All right. Last question. Anybody got any more questions? Any more? Because we're ending at 12:30 today. I'm trying to be good. So I need to get some food and get on the road here. So any more questions? Any more? I don't think Marvel will ever reach the Infinity War levels. Winter Soldier and Civil War deserve mention. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Winter Soldier, which I did say, but Civil War doesn't hold up as well. I still like it. It's still a spectacle. I still enjoy it. I like a lot about it. You know, Black Panther, you know, the scene when they're chasing each other in the, you know, downtown or whatever, like that was just amazing. And obviously the introduction of Spider-Man was fantastic, and he's a great Spider-Man. Just as a movie as a whole, there were just too many coincidental things that I was like, okay, that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. None of this would happen, you know? So there was a little more, letting go. But anyway, but it's still a good film though. But, anyone for the Return of the Jedi Andrew? I saw that. You know, my problem is with George Lucas. He loves to make changes to stuff, and I hate that. Like, I like seeing stuff. I like seeing stuff the way it was intended. You know, like if you get to go back and add the things in that you didn't like that you did, I don't know, that kind of, it messes with me. I don't love that. Yeah, the Captain America does. I actually need to watch it again. It's sitting on there and I'm like, I should probably watch it again. Because originally when I watched it like I watched Captain Marvel. Like I knew I had to watch it because, you know, Infinity War was coming, but I didn't need to watch it. You know what I mean? That's how I felt about the first Captain America, you know, and obviously the first Avengers to this day is still works really, really well. Okay. I heard The Accountant 2 is pretty good. I've heard that, but to me, The Accountant 2 feels like, you know, you're coming out in 6 weeks anyway. I got all the streaming services. You're going to end up on one of them for free in like 6 to 8 weeks. I think I can wait for The Accountant. When am I going to have another cooking subject? That's a good question. I don't know. That's a very good question. All right. Anyway. All right. I think that is it. I think I can go. See, our numbers dropped down. People are like, oh, Marvel. I'm not here for Marvel. Keep with DJ life. And I'm like, look, man, people are talking about Marvel. I might do another cooking video. It just depends on how like the food I was cooking was definitely more manageable. But if I'm using like my hands and stuff, I'll figure it out. All right, y'all. I do have to run. I have a feeling that this weekend's going to turn into a shit show. Now that my main guy is not available. So that's this week. And then after this week, this Saturday begins my 58. I'm sorry. We have a couple of weekday ones. 58 event May. I still can't believe it. Now I have to make sure that this guy's available to do the other things. All right. I'm going to run, y'all. Thank you guys for hanging out today. As always, make sure you hit that like on the way out. And as always, let's see here. What video is coming out before I turn to mush? We are going to finally review the Phoenix PTAUs because I've been seeing a lot of videos, a lot of forum posts on the Phoenix line. We're going to do a video on that one. That one's easy. I'm just going to be able to just talk about that one. I'm going to do the Evolve 70 video, assuming life doesn't turn to trash after I get back. That'll be next week. I'm going to do a mover video on degrees. We're going to do a real video. We're going to put it to the test because I have a feeling that some people believe their movers are better than they are. Yeah. And so those are the three that I got coming out. And then DJ's coming out too. All right, y'all. I'm going to run, and I love animated talk. We could do this all day. Maybe we'll have another show where it's just like science fiction, anime, cooking with my trap queen. My wife doesn't cook. I'm the cook of the family. Maybe that's the thing. Anyway, that's a whole other story. All right, y'all. I am going to run. Enjoy your weekend. Have great parties. I will see you soon. And when we talk about inexpensive wireless, there's nothing better than Phoenix. Thank you, Lou. And I've seen Lou's comments too, because there's a lot of people that really want to trash Phoenix, and I'm sitting here going, now look, the PTU 71s, which I think are solid microphone, but I would not necessarily trust the 71s or the 7000s. You know, I wouldn't trust those on an everyday basis. They are prone to a little bit of like falling apart. You know, I use them for karaoke. I use them for our low end ceremony sounds because they're easy. I have the extenders on it, so they work well, and they stay on microphones because there's a lot of hand noise in the 71s. The PTAUs twos, they are really, really good. They sound good. The build quality is night and day different than the PTU 71s. They sound good. Their range is good. And it's not even a Shure versus Phoenix thing. The PTAUs can compete with any microphone out there. That specific microphone, not the 71s, not that microphone system can compete with any microphone out there. No lie. No lie. I have had singers on them. I have had just people chatting on them. They sound good with everybody that uses them. My wedding this weekend, we used two of those. One for the officiant, one for the singer. She sang perfect. Perfect. So anyway. All right, y'all. I'm going to run. I will do that video. I'm going to try to do it tomorrow. And I'm going to buy a stupid Insta360 X5. I'm going to buy one. I'm going to buy one. Still don't know if I'm going to like it or not, but I'm going to buy one. P-Dot said something on his video that actually kind of hit me, where I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like that. And he goes, I don't want a Scott transmitter. Just get a Scott transmitter just because. No, he said the one thing that he didn't realize was going to be a problem was the amount of like work he would have to do to get the video to be where it needed to be to actually like pull it on your phone. That's my biggest fear. I don't want to spend, all this time tweaking it. First off, I don't know why these companies, DJI does this with their Pocket software, and obviously Insta does it with their phone. Why is everything phone based? Why don't you make a computer based version? Why can't I sync via my computer where I have all the power and I have all the storage and memory? We're talking about 4K and 6K and 8K videos. I only have so much room on my devices. Anyway, so we'll see. I guess I could plug in a USB thumb drive in here and then pull it onto that drive. I don't know, man. Anyway, I got to run. So have a great day. We'll see you soon. Have great parties. Peace out, y'all. Peace out. If I can figure out which one.